Welcome everyone to the world of Semstar online classes. I am Shubham Chopra, social science teacher. Student, I am again back with your first chapter of history, that is the French Revolution for class 9. So students, in the previous video, I have discussed with you about the situation where the representative of the third state viewed themselves as spokesmen for the whole of French nation, and they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the ground of Versailles and declared themselves a national assembly, and swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. Now, while the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution, the rest of France was suffering due to inflation and riots due to shortage of food. So in this part of video we are going to discuss that how King Louis XVI got compelled to accept the constitution drafted by the National Assembly, and how France became the first ever constitutional monarchy in the world. Now faced with the power of his revolting subject, Louis XVI finally accorded recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would now on be checked by a constitution. On the night of 4th August 1789, the Assembly passed a decree abolishing the feudal system of obligations and taxes. Members of the clergy too were forced to give up their privileges. Tithes were abolished and lands owned by the church were confiscated. As a result, the government acquired assets worth at least 2 billion livres. So students, after the King Louis XVI accepted to limit his powers by accepting the constitution drafted by the National Assembly, so the government acquired the asset worth of at least 2 billion livres. Now livre was the currency of France. So what did the government did? The government abolishes all the feudal system and the privileges being provided to the first two states. That means no more taxes to be paid by the third state to the nobility and the clergies. Now the land which were acquired by the clergy, that means the churchmen and the nobles, were confiscated from them. That means the noble were acquiring around 60% of the total land area. Now this was taken back from them by the government, and after confiscating so much of taxes and land area from the first two states, the government acquired asset of worth 2 billion livres. Now the new constitution. The National Assembly completed the draft of the constitution in 1791. Its main object was to limit the powers of the monarch. Now this was the main objective of drafting a constitution by the National Assembly, as it was made by the representatives of the third state, who were basically the taxpayers. So they wanted that now the people must also have got some say in the formation of the government and in the decision making of the government. Now, these powers, instead of being concentrated in the hands of one person, were now separated and assigned to different institutions, that is, the legislature, executive, and judiciary. Now, this made France a constitutional monarchy. So students, after the adoption of the constitution, now the powers were decentralized. That means the powers were separated into different institutions, that is the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, the same institution which we are also having in our form of government. That means now the powers were segregated, they were separated amongst the different institutions, so that there should be a system of balances and checks, so that now no more autocracy should exist. That means the one person should not be all powerful and should not be in a state of taking decision himself or herself alone. So for that purpose this system was adopted. Now the constitution of 1791 vested the power to make laws in the National Assembly, which was indirectly elected. Now this system was adopted that whatever the laws are to be made will be made in the National Assembly, but the National Assembly was a group of members who were indirectly elected. Now, that is, the citizens voted for a group of electors who in turn choose the assembly. Not all the citizens, however, had the right to vote. Now, students, let me explain you what was the structure of electing. Now, what was the structure of the government and how people elected these the members of the National Assembly. Now, I'm zooming in this diagram, which clearly shows that how the National Assembly was elected by the people. The whole of the French population was actually bifurcated into two parts, that is, the active citizens and the passive citizens. Now, the active citizens were those citizens who were above the age of 25 years and who actually paid taxes which was equal to 3 days labor's wage, 3 days wages of a labor. That means a person can only vote for the National Assembly if he or she is above, if he or she not, only the male members were allowed who are above the age of 25 years and have got, and those who paid taxes which is equal to 3 days labor's wage. That means only those persons are allowed to vote. So only men above 25 years of age who paid taxes equal to at least 3 days of laborer's wage were given the status of active citizens, that is, they were entitled to vote. The remaining men and all women were classed as passive citizens. To qualify as an elector and then as a member of the assembly, a man had to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayer. So now we have understood that who can vote? Only men above the age of 25 years and who paid taxes equal to the 3 days laborer's wage. Now these were the active members, as you all can see in this picture, that they are electing electors which are around 50,000 people, and now these 50,000 people are electing the National Assembly, which consists of 745 members. Now this National Assembly was supposed to control the ministers, that the Council of Ministers, as well as the king. Now we all can see that the active citizens are also electing a judge. That means judiciary, which is a completely a separated body from this executive and legislature. That means a body which is going to look after the working of the executive and the legislature. The king was also under the control of the National Assembly. That means now any decision which has to be taken by the king will first be discussed in the National Assembly, and then only that law or that decision can be passed. So this was the structure of the government under the constitutional monarchy in France. Now students, we have already discussed that the remaining men and all women were classed as passive citizens. To qualify as an elector, then as a member of the assembly, a man had to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayer. Now, if a person want to be an elector, or if a person want himself or herself himself in the National Assembly, then that person has to be among the highest bracket of taxpayer. That means a person has to be a taxpayer who paid a lot of taxes, and being in the highest bracket. Now, the Constitution began with the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. Now, the Constitution which was drafted, now it has also got something like preamble at the very first page of it, and it begins with a declaration of the right of man and citizens. Now, rights such as the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established as natural and inalienable rights. Now, that is, they belong to each human being and by birth and could not be taken away. Now, it was the duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural right. Now, this declaration of the rights and man was very much similar to the preamble which we are having in our constitution. Now, it declares the basic rights, mean the rights which should be given to each and every citizen by birth, and these rights were the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law. Now, these were some natural and inalienable rights which were considered as natural and should be given to each and every each and every citizens. Now it was made the duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural right. Now this was a declaration of rights and man. Now what is written in this declaration? That men are born and remain free and equal in rights. The source of all power resides in the nation. The aim of every political association is the preservation of the rights of man. Liberty consists of the power to do whatever is not injurious to others, and law has the right to forbid only actions that are injurious to society. Now, basically, student, liberty means that we all have the freedom, but we have got freedom with certain responsibilities as well. That means our freedom should not affect the life of other people. That means freedom doesn't mean that whatever we feel like we can do, but we have to also make sure that our actions should not affect the life of people living around us, and it should not be injurious to them. Now law is the expression of a general will. All citizens have the right to participate framing laws directly or indirectly. That means it is one of the concept of democracy that every citizens, whether directly or indirectly, should have some or the other contribution in the making of laws for that particular country in which they are living. Now all citizens are equal before it. That means in the eyes of law each and everyone should be equal. No man may be accused, arrested or detained except in cases determined by law. So students, in this video we are going to learn till here only. Now in the videos ahead we are going to read about the events which took place further in France, and we are going to read that how France abolishes this constitutional monarchy and becomes a republic, the first ever republic nation in Europe. Till then, keep learning, keep watching.